The Boeing 737 MAX crashes, which occurred in 2018 and 2019, were the result of a combination of technical, regulatory, and cultural factors that contributed to the devastating losses of life and property. The accidents, which involved Lion Air Flight 610 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302, resulted in the deaths of 346 people. The primary cause of the crashes was a faulty Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS, designed by Boeing. MCAS was intended to prevent the plane from stalling by automatically adjusting the angle of the horizontal stabilizer. However, a combination of design flaws, inadequate testing, and regulatory lapses led to the system's malfunction. Here are the key factors that contributed to the crashes. First, MCAS design flaws. Boeing installed MCAS on the 737 MAX to counteract the effects of larger engines, which were mounted higher and farther forward on the wing. The system relied on a single angle of attack sensor to determine the plane's pitch and roll. If the AOA sensor malfunctioned, the MCAS system could push the nose of the plane down, making it difficult for pilots to control. Second, lack of redundancy. The MCAS system relied on a single AOA sensor, which was not redundant. In the event of a sensor failure, the system did not have a backup to cross-check data, increasing the risk of a malfunction. Inadequate testing and simulation. Boeing's testing and simulation of the MCAS system were quite inadequate. The company did not thoroughly test the system under all possible flight conditions, and the simulations did not accurately replicate real-world scenarios. Insufficient pilot training. Boeing did not provide adequate training to pilots on the MCAS system, and the company did not include information about the system in the plane's flight manual. This lack of transparency and training made it difficult for pilots to understand the system's behavior and respond to malfunctions. Regulatory lapses. The Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, played a significant role in the crashes by failing to properly oversee Boeing's design and testing of the MCAS system. The FAA delegated much of the certification process to Boeing, allowing the company to self-certify many aspects of the plane's design. So, cultural factors played a pretty significant role here. Boeing's corporate culture, meeting production deadlines and cutting costs, were put ahead of safety concerns. The company's strong focus on efficiency and profit led to a lack of investment in safety research and development. Moving on, there's the failure to disclose MCAS to pilots and regulators. Boeing, unfortunately, didn't tell pilots or regulators about the existence of the MCAS system, which meant they weren't aware of the potential risks it posed. This lack of transparency honestly made it quite difficult for pilots to respond to malfunctions and for regulators to ensure the plane's safety. And then, regarding software updates, in 2017, Boeing released a software update that actually changed how MCAS interacted with the plane's autopilot system. However, this update wasn't adequately tested, and it introduced new risks that just weren't fully understood at the time. The sequence of events leading to the crashes was as follows. Lion Air Flight 610. On October 29, 2018, the plane took off from Jakarta, Indonesia, and shortly after, the MCAS system activated due to a faulty AOA sensor. The pilots struggled to control the plane, and it eventually crashed into the Java Sea, tragically killing all 189 people on board. Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. On March 10, 2019, the plane took off from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and shortly after, the MCAS system activated due to a faulty AOA sensor. The pilots struggled to control the plane, and it eventually crashed near Addis Ababa, killing all 157 people on board. In the aftermath of the crashes, Boeing faced intense scrutiny and criticism for its role in the disasters. The company has since taken steps to address the issues that contributed to the crashes, including redesigning the MCAS system, providing additional training to pilots, and increasing transparency with regulators and the public. In 2020, the US House of Representatives released a report detailing the causes of the crashes and criticizing Boeing's culture and practices. The report concluded that Boeing's prioritization of profits over safety, combined with regulatory lapses and inadequate oversight, contributed to the crashes. Boeing has also faced significant financial and reputational consequences as a result of the crashes, including a decline in stock price, a loss of customer confidence, and a significant decrease in orders for the 737 MAX. The company has paid billions of dollars in settlements and fines, and it continues to face ongoing litigation and regulatory scrutiny.